G'day, my name is Thomas, also known as The Real Toho, iDubbbz, Scott the Was. Look, I've heard them all. And I know that you might be interested to hear how I got to 1,000 subscribers and how you can too. So this is my complete recount of events to 1,000 Toe Bros here on YouTube. Feel free to grab a snack and yeah, here we go. It was around the time of my birthday in 2017, 3 long years ago. 9 months prior, I was tasked to work on a huge school project consisting of a video with awesome editing, amazing visual effects, you get the drift. The 9 months came to a close and out of this, I came away with a few things. The first was that I was able to put together some fairly simple videos and stupid photoshops. And the second one was that I wasn't very good at picking up chicks. Look, we're still working on that second one, but through the long practice of video editing, I had finally built up enough confidence to make my own videos. And I had a lot of newfound time that I wanted to dedicate to something else. All throughout my schooling years, my go-to place for any form of entertainment was YouTube. It began with Minecraft, Team Crafted, Sky the Kid RS, TrueMoo, and quickly moved to Vicstar, Mini Minter, The Sidemen, Casey Neistat, many fellow Aussies, Lachlan, Unlisted Leaf, the list goes on. The one thing that each of these creators had in common was the awesome communities behind them. Their videos transported the 14, 15-year-old me away from reality, and I thank them for their years of free entertainment. The idea of YouTube inspired me not for the numbers, but for the opportunity to meet more people outside of my hometown and help others escape in the same way that previous YouTubers had before me. So it was settled. On the night of my 18th birthday, I shared my first drink at the pub with my family and went to bed thinking about the name that I would take on in the YouTube scene. I quickly concluded that Little Milkers with 2 dashes didn't quite make the cut. There is always a possibility that we end up as big as PewDiePie, and the thought of me having that name went back to the drawing board and did what my favourite music producers did. I took the first 2 letters out of my first name, the first 2 out of my last. Bam! Toho was born. Notice the capitalisation? Under the guise of Toho Gaming, I established my channel just 2 days after my 18th birthday. That was when the YouTube grind well and truly began. Fun fact, this was actually my 3rd YouTube channel that I attempted, although I don't think that my PewDiePie fan account really counts. It kicked off with the now infamous Crash Bandicoot series. I remember sitting down onto my PS4, pressing the share button and praying to God that it would work. After a tedious process of transferring files across to my gaming PC, aka my Surface Pro, an hour later I had a polished episode 1 which I released to the world to only get 10 views, of which 10 of them were me. I'm pretty sure. I still think that the easiest part to YouTube is uploading your first video. The hardest part is uploading the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. I had done it. I was a successful YouTuber that made it through their first series. Nothing was going to stop me, and in all honesty, it didn't. Throughout 2017, I worked making subpar Destiny videos, PlayStation Plus reviews, pop unboxings. Let's not go there, hey? Mainly all thanks to my trusty PS4, which still only output to 720p. PewDiePie was shaking in his boots, my subscriber count was rising. Slowly, but rising, and I continued through 2017 really finding my footing in the gaming scene on YouTube and practicing my editing skills, because, you know, I was the best. There were a few people who I won't name, but I'll forever remember them, who kept coming back to watch my crazy anecdotes, and I will forever thank them for giving me the inspiration to keep on uploading. And I wish I was lying, but that 9-month project that I mentioned earlier, I actually used it to top the state in the HSC, which is the Aussie equivalent of the GCSE, SAT, Year 12, whatever you want to call it. It was apparent that I was good at this visual stuff, and it was only fair that I pursued it. I wish my story ended here, and so Toho skipped college and went on to become a famed YouTuber, known for his shocking accent and unnecessary editing. But I think it's important to acknowledge my aspirations outside of YouTube, as it is a bit of a pipe dream. It still is, and many have tried and failed, so I had to have a backup plan. I know Will Smith says never to have a backup plan, but in the sane world, I went on to study communications at university. It was alright. The most exciting part of my day was getting back and grinding out more videos with JJH. A whole year had passed with only a small group of Toe Bros returning to watch my mediocre content, and I was still uploading tri-weekly. You hear that? A whole year. Not to burst anyone's bubble, but if you're thinking about starting a channel for yourself, you've got to be prepared for those slower days. I needed to reevaluate my game plan, and fortunately, I needed a better computer than the Surface Pro for editing. So I saved up enough money for an actual PC at the ripe old age of 19. My gosh, who needs a woman when you've got that beautiful beast? Sorry. Back on track. I scrapped the PS4 and began sourcing free PC indie games online. I recorded myself playing one, posted it with a short review, and surprisingly, that video got 25 views. 15 more than I would usually get. I had cracked the YouTube code. Not really. I rinsed and repeated the process, met some cool indie game devs along the way, and fell in love with the art form that was video making and interacting with you guys. December of 2018, I think it was 4 days before Christmas, and the Want a Sprite Cranberry meme was circulating the globe, and someone went to the effort of turning it into a game. You had to escape LeBron's evil clutches on Christmas Eve. Despite not even finishing the game in my gameplay, the response from the YouTube community was overwhelming. People genuinely liked my video and were shocked that I didn't have more subscribers. And for once, I felt like I was running an actual YouTube channel, getting 1,000 views within the first couple of days. This was it. My big break. Well, whilst it was cool at the time, the best thing to come out of that video was a comment underneath left by a little man named the Clumsy King. I can't quite remember what he said, but it was something along the lines of cool channel, and I basically left it at that. I had like 300 subscribers at the time. Why would someone with 1,000 subscribers want to play with me? Christmas came and went, and Clumsy queued up a time for us to record, and we immediately hit it off. I mean, we're Aussies after all. Despite a bit of an age gap, it didn't feel weird at all. Hey mum, I'm just gonna go chat with a random stranger on the internet. And eventually he introduced me to everyone's favourite nut, Pecan, and we became the now infamous trio. With a very small community by my side and Clumsy and Peaks, I felt like I actually belonged. I might not have made huge videos that hit the screens of the masses, but I just couldn't help the fun that I was having. This was exactly the reason why I got into YouTube. The comments from you guys, the Toe Bros, would make my days of study so much better. Things were pretty smooth sailing until fairly recently. Beginning 2020, I had made upwards of 200 videos, 200 edits, 200 moments that I'd sat down and worked really hard on. But I very nearly almost threw it all away. See, now comes in the part about university. I was wrapping up my second year of study and I was still finding it pretty uninspiring. The classes weren't super interesting and it didn't look like I was going to get a role on a film set or in TV. I had hit a roadblock yet again in life. I'm a huge believer that you make your own reality and that things do happen for a reason. So with all this in mind, I decided to apply at the most exclusive film school this side of the globe. An opportunity to work with the likes of the next Avengers film someday. This was of course all at the discretion of the school. I had to use every piece of video editing and storytelling knowledge that I had to put together a short film, which I submitted not really expecting anything back at all. I'd looked this place up online and people had tried to get in years and years over, and the likelihood of me getting accepted was very low. And what do you know? Waiting list place 86 out of 80. That was it, my fate was sealed. I was gonna live out the remainder of my uni degree. Not something I really enjoyed, but I got to do YouTube on the side, you know, hang out with friends and family. Christmas came and went, and there was a slight possibility that maybe 6 people would give up their spot. But then again, why would they give it up for me? I remember attending my first day back at uni, my phone went off, and it read, "Thomas, congratulations, we can't wait to have you at." That was the sign that I needed. My life was going to change. I was going to school in a different city. I was prepared to pack up the comfortable life that I knew at home on the promise of becoming one of the next best film directors. I knew it would come at a cost, and some of you may remember that there was a period of 2 months there where I did go dark. I'd worked on YouTube for 2 years to no avail, and I didn't really have a lot to show for it. And it was impossible to fit in with my 3-hour train ride to this school and back each day. I couldn't find the time to make videos, and I let my channel sit silently to probably to be lost in the deep pages of the interwebs. Well, that was until COVID-19 threatened all of existence.
First, the unfolding coronavirus emergency.
The promise of working on film sets quickly evolved into Zoom classes, and I was able to study from the comfort of my own home without the travel time. Time I could put into something else. I returned to find my footing again, to release a video that at the time didn't really realise the impact that it would have on the future of my channel. Sam Hogan's Stick With It. Gosh, I have a lot to owe to that man. As per usual, I sat down and made an overly edited video showing my highlights in the game, and fortunately, it was a game that people wanted to see. It grew so much traction that Sam himself put me in his video. Despite severe hardship, it is by far the hardest game that I've ever played. I completed the series and welcomed a new wave of toe bros to the channel. Genuine people who enjoyed my editing and were surprised that the channel wasn't bigger. Something reset in me, and I am now the guy that you see before you today, trying to improve on each video, each thumbnail, making it my goal to make the best videos that I can, whilst juggling film school, family, work, streaming, gym, I swear. The list goes on. It's far from a hard life, but I appreciate all of your patience in every single one of my uploads. To this day, I haven't made a cent off YouTube. I'm completely self-driven and I'd love to keep it that way. But I do acknowledge that there might come a time where I have to choose between work and hobbies. But through your support, I'm confident that I might be able to merge the two. The journey has been incredibly long. I've spent far too many nights staying up until 2 AM working on videos and thumbnails, but I love it. YouTube is my passion and I wouldn't trade the place that I'm in for anything in the world. The journey has been very long, but YouTube's impact on me as a person has been incredible. I'm far from the shy, timid boy behind the camera that you saw 3 years ago. Trust me. This is all thanks to you. To anyone who has ever liked the video, commented, subscribed, just watched a video, to the Toe Bro Empire and the Tacticals, to any creator I've collaborated with both in and outside of a video, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me reach this milestone. I hope I've been able to give you a bit of an insight into how much you all mean to me. You allow me to live out my dream of entertaining others day in and day out, and I'm really excited to see just how far we can go. So, here's to 1,000 subscribers and many, many more from your second favourite Aussie behind Laserbeam, Toho, out.